Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Uche. Here I share tips on how you can migrate to Australia and how you can live and thrive in Australia. So in today's video guys, I'll be sharing with you guys some myths that you think you know or you might have heard people talk about concerning Australia. So today I'm going to clear some of those myths and tell you what it is and what is not. If this is the kind of content you're looking for, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, so anytime I post any video, you will be the first to be notified. So without wasting much of your time, let's go ahead with today's video. Number one myth is that Australia is very far. So I've heard a lot of people, both my friends in this YT and people outside, saying that Australia is very far, Australia is end of the world and all that. There are some countries as well that is closer to Australia than other countries. Like if you in Africa can travel all the way to China for business, or Thailand and Indonesia and the likes, then you can also be able to come to Australia, because Australia is closer to those countries that you might have been to without knowing that they are close to Australia. So if you have been to all these places that I've mentioned, Thailand, Japan, Korea, China, then you can as well come to Australia. Australia is more closer to Asian countries than the regular like UK, Canada or USA that most people tend to know about. If you're coming from a country that is very far from Australia, there are tickets that you can book. You have a stop, have a rest, maybe in Dubai or in Singapore or any close area, depending on the flight you're coming with, to make your journey not that long. Even though that people are saying that Australia is fast, to some people it is very close, depending on what or why they are moving to Australia. So you know the reason why you want to come to Australia. So if it's just the distance that is going to be a barrier to you, then fine and good. Like I said, you can always shorten your journey to make it easier, that you will not stay long in the flight and don't feel that Australia is far for you. So the next one that I'm going to talk about, that most people talk about, is that Australia is very hot. As much as there are states that is hot, or especially Northern Territory and the outbacks in Australia can be hot, but it doesn't mean that every Australian state is hot. Australia has 4 seasons. I am in Queensland. Even though they call us Sunshine State, we witness a very cold weather as well, especially us living in Toowoomba. We can go as minus sometimes during winter. And of course, Melbourne is also known as a 4-season state. You can witness all the 4 seasons in Melbourne. Likewise, Tasmania and South Australia. So depending where you're coming to would make it look like, okay, Australia is hot, but Australia is not hot every year. Where in summer, of course, you feel the hotness. It's also happened to other first world country. When they're in summer, everywhere is hot, and when it's cold, it is cold. So Australia should not be called a hot continent. All right. The myth that people talk about concerning Australia is that Australia is a small country. Australia is not a small country. Australia has a very large landmass. Australia is the largest island in the world. Australia is almost close to United States in terms of kilometers. Australia is like 7.6 something kilometers, while US is like 9 point something. So it's just 27% that US is larger than Australia. And Australia is also one of the 6th largest continents after Canada, US, Brazil, Russia, and China. So you can't call Australia that it's a very small continent. And remember, Australia is a continent. So stop saying that Australia is just a small country or just a small continent. It is not. So with this that I have explained, you have known the landmarks of Australia. So the next myth I'm going to talk about is that Australia is very expensive. To some extent, I will agree to this, but not fully. Why? If you're new to a country and you have not started making money in that country, everything will seem expensive to you. But when you acclimatize to the country and you have a job and you are making money in that country, you find out that you can afford everything and anything that you want to get in that country. So it's mostly people that just arrive newly in Australia without job or still struggling to settle in will tell you that Australia is expensive, because they are still spending the currency from the country they are coming from. But once you have a job and you settle in, you find out that it will be cheaper for you to live in Australia. So another one I want to talk about that I know everyone is thinking about is kangaroos. A whole lot of people think that kangaroos live in everybody's house in Australia, that by the time you leave your house and open your door, there will be a kangaroo ready to box you in Australia. In as much as there is a lot of kangaroos in Australia, but you will see most of them, especially in the outback, or you live in the countryside, that's where you will see kangaroos a lot. Since I have been living in Australia, I have not really seen kangaroo like that, except the ones that maybe mistakenly a car hit a kangaroo and maybe you're driving and you see a dead kangaroo by the side of the road. I have not seen a kangaroo hopping from one house to another like what people think. Like I said, there are a lot of kangaroos here in Australia, but kangaroos don't live in people's houses. People don't have kangaroos as a pet that people think about. And kangaroos, you can see them in the outbacks or in the country area. Another myth that I want to talk about is that Australia doesn't have a snow. This is not true. There are some places you can witness snow in Australia, although not every state you can see snow. But if you want to see snow, that means you have to go further ahead. Some regions during winter, they have a lot of snow. You can even ski here in Australia. People go out during winter to ski in some areas, some part of Melbourne, some part of Tasmania, and even some places in Queensland has snow during winter. So if people tell you that, oh, in Australia it's very hot, they don't have snow, the weather, it is not true. In as much as we don't have snow like some other first world country, but it doesn't mean that it does not snow in Australia. The final one that I want to talk about that I know you guys are itchy to hear is that there are deadly things that can kill you here in Australia. In as much as I laugh about this, yes, we have deadly animals here like shark, crocodiles, snakes, and spiders, but you don't see this every time. I have been living in Australia for some time now. I have never seen a snake. There is always a snake catchers around. There are numbers to call if you see any of these deadly animals, okay? And if you're also going to the beach to swim, there's always something to tell you that where you're trying to head to, there are something that will kill you dead. So it's not as if that they don't make plans to protect their people. The truth is that a car accident will kill you more than any of these things that you guys are scared of. And I have heard a lot of people commenting that, oh, I don't want to come to Australia because they say there is a lot of snakes. Like I told you, since I've been living in this, my particular home, I've seen any spiders, any deadly spiders in my house. I'm not saying that other people might not have seen any of this, but they don't just fall in on the road like people think. Crocodiles don't crawl on the road except if you go to a salty water where they live, and of course, like I said, they would always put a sign to tell you not to go there. And if you're going to swim and they tell you that, oh, this place is full of jellyfish, if you go in there, then you're going there to your own detriment. Like I said, there is always a sign to avoid anything that would ever harm you in Australia. There is 1,000,001 thing that can kill you than any of these animals that you are scared of. I hope I have cleared the myth that people are scared of to come to Australia. I hope you enjoy watching this video, and if you do, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to share this video so you can educate people to know more about Australia than the myth that they think they know about Australia. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you guys in my next video.